Hello, my name is Jonas. In this video, I'm going to talk about the different options available when setting up a monitoring workflow using a C9 or CX series OLED and the popular video editing and color grading software DaVinci Resolve. Depending on if you choose a C9 or CX series OLED, you have different options available when it comes to setting up the pipeline and monitoring workflow. A major difference between the two is that the CX series has the ability to manually enter HDR metadata, a feature with the C9 series lacks. This enables the CX series to manually enter both Direct 2020 color space and HDR mode by internal settings in the TV's menu. To enter these modes on a C9 series OLED, you must send the proper metadata over HDMI. And this is done either via the project settings in DaVinci Resolve, together with, for example, a Decklink Mini Monitor 4K card. When using SDI, this can also be done with a compatible SDI to HDMI converter, like for example the AGA Hi-Fi 4K+. This means that CX users also have the ability to use the Video Clean Feed feature of DaVinci Resolve, which uses a regular HDMI output of your computer to send the video feed to the TV. Although this option is not recommended for critical color grading work, since the color accuracy might be influenced by the computer's operating system and drivers. So I still recommend that you use a Decklink card or an Ultra Studio device. As a video output solution, I mainly recommend the Decklink Mini Monitor 4K card, which supports both Direct 2020 and HDR mode over HDMI 2.0A. If your computer lacks the ability to mount PCI Express cards, the Sonnet Echo Express SE1 can provide this functionality over Thunderbolt 2 or Thunderbolt 3. Another super affordable Thunderbolt 3 option is the Ultra Studio Monitor 3G device. Although it is limited to a resolution of 1080p 60, so you won't be able to send out a full UHD 4K signal. Personally, I tend to mostly monitor in 1080p anyways, and only switch to UHD 4K for rendering. So I think that the Ultra Studio Monitor 3D device is a great option for those who want Thunderbolt 3 connectivity. Here's an illustration to summarize the different options available when setting up a monitoring workflow using these OLEDs and DaVinci Resolve. Firstly, we have the Video Clean Feed option, which doesn't require a dedicated I/O device for black-and-white design. Although it only works with CX series OLEDs because of its ability to manually enter Direct 2020 color space and HDR mode via settings in the TV's menu. Next, we have an I/O device with connectivity over HDMI. Again, the CX series OLEDs doesn't require metadata to enter these modes, so it doesn't have to be HDMI 2.0A compatible. On the other hand, an HDMI 2.0A connection is required when using a C9 series OLED, since it requires metadata to activate the Direct 2020 color space and HDR mode. Finally, we have an I/O device with SDI connectivity. Here, the CX series OLED only requires a SDI to HDMI converter, which supports the resolutions and frame rates you wish to work with. On the other hand, C9 series OLEDs require a converter like, for example, the AGA Hi-Fi 4K+, which can manually inject HDR metadata into the HDMI feed. So that's a quick overview of the options available when setting up a monitoring workflow using a C9 or CX series OLED and DaVinci Resolve. Be sure to also check out the monitoring hardware guide in the next section, as this will probably help you clear up any questions you might have at this point.